guys. So, first off, welcome to another WIP Wednesday. So I just made a 20-minute WIP Wednesday video, only to realize that Windows did another update and my microphone wasn't configured, which happens pretty frequently. So this is take two. So yeah. Anyways, so usually I show my finished objects for the last week, and then I'll talk a little bit about what I have to work on over the next 7 days. And just fair warning, I have a lot to work on over the course of the next 7 days. So first off, let me show you my first finished piece. I showed parts of it last week, and I also showed it finished in one of my lives, but I finished this sweater this last week. It is a top-down Raglan style sweater. It's only an extra small, so it's totally not going to fit me. It would probably fit Casey. But I had these extra granny squares from a pair of pajama pants that I made for somebody last year around this time. And I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with them. So I decided to take them and use them to design a sweater out of them. Now, that pattern, I have the extra small written up. I do not have any other sizes finished yet. But the plan for that sweater, I did take notes and write up the pattern and everything, with all of that. But the plan for that sweater is to make it entirely size inclusive, meaning extra small all the way up to a 5X. So it's going to take me a little bit to do that and for that pattern to be released. At first I was thinking that I would be able to maybe release it in October, but now I'm thinking with everything I've got going on, I'm probably not going to have the time to write up, all of the sizes before October gets here. And I just use Red Heart Super Saver Ombre. And then the squares, the granny squares, are actually made with Mainstays yarn from Walmart. Nothing expensive. I always think, when you're designing something, it's always best to go with the cheaper yarns because it's kind of a trial run, especially when you're making just the first one. And I'm still new to designing. I haven't been designing, garments and things like that for very long at all. But so I finished that, and hopefully soon I will have the other sizes written up, and then, I can release that pattern, and I'll probably be looking for pattern testers to do this sweater as well, just to be sure that I have everything written up properly. So yeah, you guys, if any guys are into pattern testing, you can look forward to that within the next couple of months. So another thing that happened, and part of the reason why I have so much, part of the reason I have so much on my plate right now is there is a local haunted house in my area. It's about 30 minutes away. It's not really local to me, but, at least in my head, it's not really local, but I can't drive. Maybe 30 minutes is technically local. I have no idea. Sorry. But it's it's like a town over or whatever. It's not the next town over, but the one after that. It's in Bastrop. And so Casey's other grandparents, on her dad's side, work at a place called Scream Hollow, and it is a haunted house place, and I believe they're open most of the year. this season, the Halloween season, is like September 15th to the end of November, or to the beginning of November, something like that. And then after that, they also do like a spooky Christmas season. My hair is so frizzy right now. But her other grandparents from her dad's side work there, and they've recently taken over doing the gift shop. And so they asked me if I'd be interested in making up some kind of Halloween themed amigurumi toys. And I've never done consignment before, but I figured I would go ahead and give it a shot. They are asking, or the owner of the place is asking 20% of everything that I sell. So I'm hoping that this could be a good thing, especially, with, my dad going in to have surgery, and he's, being out of work for all the way till next year, because he'll be out of work for 2 months after his surgery. I'm hoping this could be a huge opportunity to make some money to help my dad out with the bills. At least that's the idea. And they wanted 3 different characters, or 3 different style of toys, and as many of them as I could make. So I started with, I told them I'd start with the voodoo dolls, and then I would go from there. So I do have 2 of the voodoo dolls finished. This guy and this guy. They kind of match because I use the purple for his hair, but the purple for this body, and then vice versa. And then I sewed this one's arms on so that he kind of looks like he's waving, and then this one just has his arms down. And if you're not familiar with amigurumi, that just has that has to do with the way that you place the arms on there before you sew them. So I used cotton embroidery thread for the stitching. You can see this guy's, they each have one on their head and one on their belly, almost opposite each other. But this guy also has, some stitching on his arm. And then I don't know if you guys can tell in the camera, but they also have different sized eyes. This eye is smaller than this eye, and then this, where's it at? This eye is smaller than that side. So, like, the two that match, the 2 eyes that match, are always kind of going towards each other. I don't know if that makes sense, but I thought they were a cute little kind of set if somebody wanted to purchase them as a set at the shop, at the gift shop, or they could be sold separately. I don't know. That is the other projects that I got finished this week, was the voodoo dolls for Scream Hollow. Now, Scream Hollow it's not just one haunted house. It's actually a set of 3, I don't know if I said that, a set of 3 haunted houses. Like I said, this is my second take, and I don't remember what I said in that video, or if I said it in this video in the retake. But it's a set of 3 haunted houses, and each season they change each haunted house up a little bit. And my youngest, Casey, actually used to go there, and she would volunteer and act in these houses. I've never actually been there because they do use strobe lights, and with my seizures, I just can't be around strobe lights. But my 10-year-old Casey, she's actually dressed up the whole 9 yards, and apparently she's got a set of lungs on her, because I know at one time she was playing an orphan girl, or like a dead orphan girl or something, in the haunted house. I don't know. It was a lot of fun for her. And, they're doing it again this year. And then my sister-in-law, Megan, she goes with her family each year with their 3 girls, with my brother's 3 girls and her. Yeah. And they go down there and do that. And it's a lot of fun. I wish that they would do, like, one day a year where they didn't turn the strobe lights on or something, so that people with conditions like mine would be able to go. But I imagine that's probably, I don't know, I imagine it's probably not very conducive to sales. I have no idea. Um, I really like haunted houses. Fall is my favorite season. Halloween is my favorite holiday. You know, and it just kind of sucks that there is not one, but 3 haunted houses, you know, 30 minutes or 45 minutes, something like that, away, and I've never been able to go. Now, after the Halloween season, they do have the spooky Christmas season, where they change the houses up again, and it's like Krampus. I'm not really sure what Krampus is. I've heard of it, and I've seen Krampus hat beanies, but I'm not entirely sure what Krampus is. So if anybody knows what Krampus is, let me know in the comments below, because I honestly, I'm not even sure what it is. So besides the voodoo dolls, and I have to have all of these done. I have fuzz in my mouth. I'm sorry, it's yarn fuzz. Does anybody have that happen? Or is that just me? Like, I feel like there's constantly yarn fuzz floating around the room all the time, and sometimes I get it in my mouth. anyways, aside from the voodoo dolls, I am working on a witch for them. I know it doesn't look like a witch just yet, but this is a witch pattern designed by Jess Huff. And the hat and the head and the body are all one piece. The original pattern calls for a 3.5 millimeter hook and worsted weight yarn, but I used a 2.5 and some of this yarn that I get off of Amazon in these. I get these in bonbons. There are packs of 50 different colors, and I think there's only like 44 yards per bonbon, but what I'll do is I'll get like 6 packages of them at like $25 a piece, and then I'll have big balls like this, and I use them to make amigurumi. But I do have the body of the hat and the head made up. I've got one little shoe or leg, and I've got the 2 arms. Hopefully I'll be getting this witch finished today or tomorrow. I still have to add the skirt around the bottom, you know, and then sewing the parts together. I used gold. I don't know if you guys can see them, but the eyes are actually gold, and there is actually a row of slip stitches around the top of this hat, so that on one of the rows you add the brim of the hat. I don't know if you guys can see it. And then on the row that is kind of skin colored, you add the hair. She's actually supposed to have these curly little curlicue hairs that you crochet. And I'm thinking I'm going to do this one with black hair. And then the other one, I wanted to make at least 2. The other one, I wanted to do in probably a blue or blue and silver. So this part would be silver. This would be like a dark navy blue. I don't have enough black right now to do one wearing black, but I do have enough black that I could do one and, you know, do this one with the black hair. So I was thinking of doing another one that's like navy blue, silver with like blonde ringlets. And then, I don't know, maybe I could give that one blue eyes or green eyes or something. I don't know. So that is one of the projects that I'll be working on this week. Another project that I'll be trying to churn out this week is this little guy. And I know that it's not much to show. And to be honest, I probably won't get this one finished before the end of the week. But this is actually going to be a little Beetlejuice. Excuse me. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but this right here around the safety eyes is actually fabric marker. I I don't know what brand this fabric marker is. I don't know if that's a brand or what. No, that's just talking about how it's fade proof and waterproof and non-toxic. It doesn't say what brand it is on the actual pens, and I don't have the package anymore. I bought them some time ago off of Amazon. They're supposed to be permanent fabric markers, and I used them around the safety eyes to give, you know, the Beetlejuice movie that's got, I think, Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis. I think Michael Keaton was the one that played Beetlejuice. Y'all let me know in the comments if I totally have the wrong celebrities. But that one, and I think it was Winona Ryder that played Lydia. Anyways, that is what this guy is eventually going to be, is that Beetlejuice with the green hair and the dark circles around his eyes, and he had like kind of moldy stuff on his face with a pinstripe black and white jacket or suit. That's what I'm shooting for with this guy. It will be a like a chibi style kind of a doll. I did show the pattern for these in one of my lives recently. I don't know if the pattern for these guys is still available, but if it is, I will drop it in the description box with all of the other patterns. So that is the plan for the consignment stuff that I have to have done by September 15th. I am still working on my Fireman teddy bear. That one, the deadline for that one is September 29th. So in my head, I feel like I'm cutting it very, very close. I'm not giving myself a lot of breathe time. I know that. And I've had a few people tell me, like, you said you were going to take a break weeks ago, and you never did. And yes, I know. Part of that is because I am really stressed out about bills and how they're going to get paid if my dad is not working for 2 months, which will be from October till the beginning of next year. And I really need to help him with that. And so I'm kind of stressing over, you know, if I have an order, I need to get it out, you know, which I try to get my orders out early anyways. It's just looking for ways to help with that situation. But another thing that I'm working on, and I was going to turn this one into a written pattern, but I think I'm not. I think I've kind of pretty much decided that I'm not going to do a written pattern on this. I'm just going to maybe do a video tutorial. But these are the pants that, or one of the pairs of pants that I keep talking about. This pair, I know it looks weird because I've started the first leg and I haven't started the second leg. But, I've been working on these as kind of my project for when I leave the house, which isn't very often, and when I do, it's not for very long. For example, today I went with my mom to drop cash off at the groomers. I did maybe 3 stitches on the way there. That's it. But I still packed it. So I was going to do a written pattern for these, and I think I've decided that because it's a lot of measuring, there's no particular stitch count on them, and there's a lot of measuring, and I really think that the best way to go about that particular pattern is just to do a video tutorial, and I am using Knob Hill Bamboo Breeze, which of course I don't have handy with me right now. But that yarn is working out so fabulously for these pants. It's soft, it feels great against the skin. And yes, I've tried these pants on half a dozen times to make sure that what I am doing is the right way to do it. So, you know, you guys can probably look forward to that. I'm probably going to do Casey-sized pants in the video tutorial rather than, you know, adult-sized pants, just because it will be a, you know, a shorter project. So I'm probably going to do that. you guys can just kind of keep an eye out for that one. I don't know. I don't know when it's going to be done or when it's going to be ready or when it's going to be released. I just know right now I'm working on like the prototype. But I feel like I've taken up a lot of your time already. So I'm going to let you guys go for now. These are the projects that I'll be working on over the course of the next 7 days. And so hopefully you guys come back next week to see what I actually got finished. Which hopefully it's more than less, you know. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.